part of me that doesn't feel what I want to believe. I want to believe God. I know that he can do it.
Man, that dude's gonna get hit upside the head. We hate them bums, right? And then God just did a complete plot twist.
Look, bro, I'm gonna be the poster child for The Chosen all day long. This is why I love The Chosen so much.
Boom.
Oh, I see.
No, I grew up in church like my whole life. My whole family is Christian. From when I was a baby throughout high school and all of that, I was always going to church. I always remember going to class at church and everything and learning about David and Goliath. Like we would watch the movies, we would learn everything that we need to know. You know, all the basic stuff that you learn growing up in church.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was so much more to this than what I already knew in my head. And so I just love the story.
Dude, that's why I love revisiting old movies, old children's books, man, old Bible passages that we did as kids, man.
Yep.
You grow up, you experience more life, and you have a level of depth inside of you, a level of understanding inside of you, like right at that moment than you didn't have before. So revisiting all of that stuff, you're like, oh, wait a minute. God, you this and this and this and this.
No, it is wild. It's funny. It's almost like hearing the kid version of it. It's great. But this is why I've loved just the idea of going back to those stories, because in a way it does become kind of like superhero stories, right? It does become a little bit like, oh, there was this dude who beat a giant. There was this dude who, but I think realizing the reality of these people were humans. And this is why, look, bro, I'm going to be the poster child for The Chosen all day long. This is why I love The Chosen so much.
Boom.
It is a reminder that these people were humans. There was a real dynamic. There was real tension. And look, I know there's people who get offended by The Chosen. Like, you can't act. But to me, it's like, how much more damaging that we've removed the humanity from the Bible, and we just look at these as stories to read. We forget that there were people with personalities, and it's bro, I champion The Chosen all day long.
When people, I'm just gonna be clear with this. When people they come up against, The Chosen, this and that, I'm like, all right, cool, bet. You provide an illustration and that hits us. Like you do it there, right?
Because
like,
we did it with the felt board,
bro. Oh my gosh, right? You go in the closet, you dig out your puppets, and then go ahead and tell us about Jesus like that, right? As far as me and my house, I can look at that illustration. I can take the things that's dope. I can get the moral of the story, and I can fall more in love with Jesus because of it, right?
Yeah.
Stop, bro. As Christians, we pick too much. Like sometimes it's like, oh, we just want to be, on the contrary all of the time. Man, shut up.
I just don't.
Respectfully, of course.
I remember the scene on there too when it was when Jesus was feeding them on the Sabbath, and they were so offended, and everyone was just, all the Pharisees just always offended at everything, and it's like, just what a waste of time. It was so convicting. Like, man, it's such a waste of time.
I agree. I believe 100% is a spirit. It is something that the enemy throws your way that we can accept that completely blocks us from the truth.
Yeah.
If I'm constantly offended, if I'm constantly picking all of this stuff apart, then I am going to completely miss all of the dope illustrations that God gives us. Yeah. And that's what I love about God, because he used these examples. God freestyled these tricks, right? Whenever God's like, hey, yo, let me tell y'all this, man. That was a Samaritan. Can you imagine what the Jews, were like? They was like, this is a Samaritan. Oh, man, that dude's going to get hit upside the head. We hate them bums, right? And then God just did a complete plot twist, and the Samaritan was the hero of the story, only to reveal himself that much more. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. We can just miss it completely. God's everywhere.
I know, man.
Sorry, I get excited about
it. Sorry for being excited. Sorry for actually believing what I say.
All right. You know me. I'm animated.
Gosh, it's inspiring. I think this is why these conversations are important. Yeah. Not just for people to hear at home, but I think just having these conversations is important because it keeps the stuff on the forefront of our mind, right? It reminds us of I know that God's good. Yeah. I know God can do anything. I know God has my back. But when something happens, when a situation in life comes up, I don't feel what I believe sometimes, right? My feelings and my belief doesn't go together. And I think the only way to start bringing this marriage between what's in our heads, what's in our hearts, what's in our belief set, what we say, what we want to believe, right? Because this is why I love in the Bible when the guy's like, the soldier's like, I do believe, but help my unbelief, right? Oh, there are things that I want to believe, but I'm just like, if I ever feel worry, if I ever feel any kind of worry, all that means is that there's a part of me that doesn't feel what I want to believe. I want to believe God. I know that he can do it. but my feelings don't align. Meaning there's part of me that doubts. So I'm like, God, I do believe. I know this is true, but help my unbelief. And I think these conversations are so important. It's why we say all the time, community is more important than anything. Having people in your life and to have these kinds of conversations, to take advantage of the Christians in your life in the way of like, bring this stuff up, right?
Yeah.
If you're doubting things, if you're having a struggle with things, if you're going through something in your life, there is just so much benefit to the consistency of keeping God in the forefront of your conversations because it reminds you of what you need to know and what you need to function in. And it reminds you too that even if your feelings are like, I'm feeling scared, I'm feeling full of doubt, but sometimes feelings are wrong. And I think that's something that nobody wants to hear, but sometimes our feelings are wrong. And we need to choose if we're gonna follow our feelings or we're gonna follow what truth is. And this was a huge part of me. I struggled with depression for a long time. This was a huge part of me starting to overcome depression in my life because I'm like, you guys love me, right? I know this right now. At least 4 out of the 5 of you love me, right?
Laser's question.
It's scary.
but depression is when you wake up and your brain informs you that you're alone, right? My brain informs me that I have nobody, I'm isolated, and nobody cares. How is it possible for me to believe something that is 100% not true? I know that I'm loved, right? There's people in this room right now that I know would have my back in anything. Depression informs you of sometimes what isn't true. And when I started coming to terms with the fact that what I feel and what is true can be completely different, that I can choose to be led by feelings or choose to be led by truth. And that means that sometimes I might live a life where my feelings are not aligning because I might feel like being greedy. I might feel alone. I might feel angry. I might feel whatever those things are. It does not mean that has to be part of my identity because my identity is the thing that I choose to walk out, the thing that I choose to follow.
You said it.
And
that's why it's so important that we have to take every thought captive. That's the reason why that scripture tells us to do that, right? Whenever I think it, sometimes, man, I can reinforce my thinking like crazy. And then I can start developing, scenarios, or I can just think of like, oh yeah, this happened, just reinforcing just what I think. But if I take that sucker captive immediately, right? And I'm like, okay, God, what is the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how those thoughts, they just melt away.
Yeah.
Man, I have to do that every stinking day.
Yeah.
No,
it's
all day.
All day, every day. Do you think about this? Every thought captive? How many times you think in a day?
That's great. Well, I love this, man. I think we could talk forever and we probably should. We'll do this a lot more. But closing thoughts, anyone?
We all look
Laser.
Laser back.
Is Richard, everything that you said today, are you 100% correct? Are you 100% right?
I'm
He's
wrong.
His 100% in the game. When he said, I'm 100% sure. So actually, I think, wait, I don't think you guys were there. So we were playing a game the one night. It was
Laser.
the game, the number game we were playing. So Richard's like, Laser, you going or am I going? Laser's like, I'm going. Richard's like, are you sure? Laser's like, I'm 100% sure. He slaps his card down with all the confidence in the world. He was so wrong.
Dude, I was like, damn, Laser, man, I see that confidence. I bet I'm following you. You sap sucker.
Every time. Every time.
Laser said it with his chest.
So now it's a Laser 100%. He said, are you 100% sure?
Yeah. I'm a Laser 100%. I'm not sure, but I'm going to act like I got it.
Cool. Thank you, bro. Seriously. Thank you so much for
having me.
sharing.
I
Thank
love
you
y'all
for
so much. Y'all
talking to
beautiful
everyone.
folks.